smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
So last night, Raqi Thunda and Taxstone held the spaces in honor of Combat Jack, and it was great. I was on stage, A King, Premium Pete, Big Body Best, Jameson. We were all up there, highlighting all the things that Combat Jack has done, in the podcast game and the media game over the last couple of years up until his demise. And Combat Jack, also known as Reggie Ossie, which is his real government name, he was a great guy. He put a lot of people on. Nori, Joe Budden, Taxstone. I mean, a lot of the people that's in the urban podcast industry that we look up to. He was the front runner for those guys. And outside of honoring Combat Jack, we spoke about Adam 22 and the importance of not promoting gang violence. Taxstone also dived into the Michael Rubin party, as well as many other topics. Now, if you guys want to chime in and talk on some of these conversations with Taxstone, Raqi, me, and other people, follow me on Twitter at the Files with Dub. That's at the Files with Dub. Follow me on Twitter at the Files with Dub. Now look at the files.
Welcome, everybody to the Tax Return with Taxstone and RaqiThunda. We're going to have a few guests in tonight. Definitely shout out to everyone who has supported us over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Tax and I have been, here we go. Tax is in the building. Douglas is in the building.
The B.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported and DM'd and asked what we needed to make this thing happen. Spaces right now is an extension of what we've been doing behind the scenes. We've been building and producing some really great content for you guys, building a new medium, right, with new structure and just really dope vibes and something I think all you guys will appreciate. But until then, we will keep attending these bonus spaces and just fucking with y'all. Shit.
Gotta touch the streets.
Gotta touch the streets.
Got to. The people want to hear it. Combat Jack Day is lit.
R.I.P. Combat Jack, bro. Happy birthday, man.
Yes, sir. Jameson, how your day going, man?
It's excellent, bro. It's a sunny day in Chicago, you feel me? Nobody was shooting, you feel me?
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God for that.
This 4th of July was crazy out there.
No, seriously. Like, not even funny. Crazy.
Jameson, I gave you some control of the room. So today, obviously, as the title says, it is a Combat Jack Day. For those who don't know, Combat Jack is an empire legend and icon in the podcast world. Above that, he was a beautiful human being. He's touched and impacted quite a few people, some of your faves. And he was a hip hop music attorney. A lot of people did not know that. He was a very successful attorney. Some of his first clients was Jay-Z, Damon Dash, a lot of the big names. And he stepped away from his his lawyer career because of just not being happy with the hustle and bustle. And he found a love in the podcast space. Let me bring somebody in 1 second. He found a love in the podcast space. And I feel like a lot of people in these podcasts, in these Twitter spaces, have all kind of built community around one podcast or another, or one form of communication or another. So yeah, we got to take a shout out to Combat Jack. We're just waiting for Tax to get in the room.
Can I wake it up, Rocky?
Always.
None of this shit happens without combat, bro. None of this shit exists. Nobody's in this room right now. That nigga is the godfather of all of this shit and built the shit brick by brick by brick when niggas was on fucking internet radio, bro. Like,
Yep.
Combat Jack does not get the, I do think he gets it. It's just, people forget so easily. You know what I mean, Raqi?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But no, Combat Jack is the forefather. Mount Rushmore. Combat Jack is like no question is the GOAT in all of this shit. Everybody who listens to podcasts right now, if you're black, more likely than not, the first podcast came from loudspeakers. Loudspeakers was it's so hard to describe now because the game has changed so much just in
Mm-hmm.
podcasting. But loudspeakers was everything, bro. That was it. They were the only game in town, the only niggas doing shit, and we're fucking innovating out the ass.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have let's see, let me get back into the spaces. We got Jonathan Mena in the building, loudspeaker, obviously. We're gonna bring him up to the stage. Big Body Best is in the building. We're gonna bring him up to the stage. We got
We
A
got A King.
Where
King,
Premium Pete? Where Premium Pete at?
Premium
He was
Pete, A
shouting out.
King is here. Yeah. So a lot of people that I just mentioned have been impacted and influenced in a positive way by Combat Jack, and we're gonna let them, chop it up with us. What up, y'all? What up, Jonathan? What up, A King? What up, Big Body Best?
Beloved.
What's shaking?
Jack.
What's shaking? What's good?
Peace, peace,
Everybody.
peace.
I just
Peace,
wanna
Rocky.
I just
Peace.
wanna start this off. It's a serious day for me. You understand? When it
Yes.
come to combat, you know what I mean? Combat was a part of helping me transition my life, you understand? And I had a deep conversation with combat and Chris Morrow when I met them. And I always appreciate them. I always want them two men right there to know that my appreciation doesn't have an expiration date because those people helped a lot of people. And I don't hear Reggie's name enough and I don't hear Chris' name enough either. You know what I
Mm,
mean? When I hear the gloating in this podcast world about the successes that niggas have had and other podcasters have had, the you know what I mean? Whatever it might be. You know what I mean? I just don't hear enough of it. And I'm going to make sure that Combat name lives forever because anytime somebody gives me help, I mean, you could give me $1, you know what I mean? So I could just get some extra cheese on a slice of pizza. I'm never going to
mm,
forget it. And I'm going to try to reciprocate 10,000 times over. And the last time I was with Combat in Los Angeles, we had a long conversation and that shit touched me. And it was a conversation I needed and it was the support I needed. At the time, I had this situation that just happened, the case that I'm in prison for now. And I went to LA to work or whatever. I had to interview YG out there and Combat pulled up and he was saying Texas Link. And it was a smooth day and we chopped it up and we was drinking wine and shit. There was some sexy shit. We was chilling. There was a couple nice young ladies or whatever. We was chilling in the backyard with a couple of my hippie friends or whatever. And the conversation that he gave me of how I'm going to hold you down and how I'm going to always help and support you, like, was something that I really needed to hear at the time because everybody that was around me was staying away from me like I had a disease. So it was like niggas was like, oh shit, Tax, you got the cooties. So we staying
mm,
away from you. So at that point for somebody to come through and say, yo, I'm standing next to you, you know what I mean? And he like forced the picture. He was like, yo, let's take a picture. He's like, nah, Combat, we ain't gotta take a picture, man. I understand you corporate Combat. You understand? I ain't trying to fuck with your dollars. I understand what my image at the time would have presented or might have hurt somebody at the time. So I was like, Combat, you ain't gotta do that. And he was like, nah, I'm taking this picture right now and I'm posting it right now. You know what I mean? And it's small shit
mm.
like that that I really appreciate from people. It's never really big shit that people, it'd be the smallest things that people do where I'm always appreciate who they are, what they do. So I just want to tell everybody that my son Combat Jack is a legend. This dude really started off, internet. What was it? DTF radio or some shit?
DTF
You
Radio.
can't
No, no,
forget.
no, no. Hold on. Wait.
What
Nope.
was it?
Bring it
Hold
back.
on. It was PNC radio. Not.
PNC.
We all know who them.
Yup.
Yeah.
You're
So
right. You're right. That was downtown Brooklyn, right?
Dumbo, 10J Street.
Yeah,
Dumbo.
J Street. Yup.
Yep. That's where the man. That's where all of this shit started. Now, I will say this though, Tack. One thing I learned after Reg passed away and whatnot is I promise not to be a revisionist nigga, because a lot of these guys are being like to do revisionist shit. So,
Hmm.
Jameson, you said something about how we were the first, right? It really, really was Juan Epstein, but they wasn't doing it like we were doing it.
As
Like
big as
you know how
Reg was
Hov
doing it.
say you made it. I'm a Nas fan, so I hate to even say this like this. But you know how Hov be like, you made it. You know, we made it a hot line. We made it a hot song.
Hmm.
That's what we did, right? And we talk about it a lot. If you listen to the old episodes and shit, like Reg always gave homage, and we always gave homage. But you know, we took it to a whole nother stratosphere. You know what I mean? But it's funny. I was looking at some pictures today, Tax, and I had posted one of them in my birthday post for Reg. And I got a couple of them joints with you and Son. I got a video clip. I'm gonna post it on stories later. Where he pulled up and he's like, "Look who I'm here in LA with," and then you in the background, go, "Yo, how's the family?" Shit
Yeah.
crazy. Shit crazy.
Nah, that's really my guy, man. I spoke to him 2 days before everything, before he passed away too, man. And it was like, his spirits were so up. And that's my shit. Like, my spirit's always up, bro. I'm not one of them crybabies. I ain't gonna have you crying with me. You're gonna just be happy until the end, you know what I mean? And I love that kind of energy, because you need that kind of guy in the room. So I always gotta shout out Combat. I wanna share the Invictus poem with y'all, you know what I mean? It's my favorite poem. I say this shit every morning like a prayer. And I just felt that the people just needed to hear it, you know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
just wanted,
Yeah, beloved.
and I gotta share that in my prayer. You know what I mean? I do my prayer every day. You know what I mean? And I pray a lot. I pray in the street a lot. I don't know if people know, because I just do it silently, but I pray a lot through the day. You understand? I
For
just
sure.
I believe in that. I believe in when you keep asking for certain shit, you will get it. You know what I mean? When you bring that energy into the world. But Invictus, you heard? Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of shade, and yet the menace of years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters now how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I
Mm.
also want to say serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Also the wisdom to tell a bitch nigga and a bitch. I like bitches. I don't like bitch niggas. Rest in peace, Combat. It's lit. Give us a story about Combat that y'all got. We want to hear nothing but good energy. You remember a good Combat show, a good episode, some good words he gave you. We want to hear it today, beloved.
Well, speaking on these good words, I do have a clip from an interview with J. Cole where he discusses just appreciation. Let me just pull that up. See if I can get that going here, y'all. Just give me a little brief second. Hold on. Put the volume up. Here we go.
Interviews, and one of the things that jumps out is you keep talking about appreciation.
Yeah.
You keep talking about appreciation, and one of my friends, very successful business dude. He came from nothing to everything, but he's very centered. And I ask him, man, I'm like, you know, how did you get this? And he's like, every day appreciation. Talk about how you came to this point in your journey, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to make it seem like I'm no type of guru, because it's a battle every day.
Right.
When you grow up.
But that's what it's supposed to be.
For sure. When you grow up with a certain mentality that's taught to you by family, society, the television, anything that we come into contact with, you develop a habit and you develop just a state of being. And once you live life and realize that that might not have been the way, or there's a better way to get you newer results and to feel better, it's one thing to like come to that realization, and it's another thing to put it in practice. The putting it in practice is the hard part.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part. So where I'm at right now, still trying to put it into practice. I got good days, I got bad days, I got days where I forget. But the thing that I learned, or one of the things that I learned, is that appreciation is everything. It's like
Yeah, that was a snippet from Combat Jack's interview with J. Cole, and it was just on appreciation. I thought that would be a great tag along with what you just, the poetry you just spit. I think A King was about to say something. Yeah.
Nah, that was dope. That was a good one. That was a good. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You kind of in the matrix. Come back.
What's that? Hey, King, you want to boost mobile,
Yeah, there we
beloved?
go.
Discuss
Nah, I'm
it.
out
Discuss
in the
it,
mix,
brother. I've been
man.
through a lot. You know what I mean? We all got a bit off faults, brother. If you had to go
Nah,
look up mobile, you let us know. I'm pretty sure some
yo,
young
man,
ladies here that work for
I got,
T-Mobile.
I got that Caribbean joint. You know what I mean? The Digicel. But nah, man, Reg, I don't know. We
He got a tropical
we in year.
fantasy phone.
Uh oh.
This
Oh
nigga
shit.
best.
Wow. I'm sharing. Yo, truthfully, I'm sharing a mobile plan with Big Body Best.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy. Nigga say you don't got a smartphone, you
With-
got a remedial phone.
the phone only works on City Line. only works on Liberty.
on
Nigga
Grant,
said it only work on Liberty. This nigga
not.
I'm on
dumb.
Picket and Grid. I can't move. I gotta stay right here.
Yo, shit is crazy. Nah, but yo, this is year 7. Year 7, this dude is gone, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm working on something. I don't like to reveal this shit, but I'll say this, man. Like Tax, 2017, right, is the year that changed everything as far as this space. Even when I look at like when we talk about having sound voices and opinions in this culture, like fortunately we get to hear you, right? But 2017 was an integral part of this shit, man. Like the top of the year, you went through what you went through, and then the end of the year, Reg made his transition, and that was huge, man. And
Bismillah.
for me, I got quiet for like I'm now getting out of that funk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, talking to men are like, what we gonna do now? Meaning we was doing shit, but it was like the feeling was just
Word.
like fuck this shit. You know what I mean? And you start hearing everybody going crazy, and then some people to create not put them out there. Was like you feel like yo, these are so much more better in the system. You know what I mean? So Reg, man,
You know,
happy
Is
birthday.
that the year
2017,
Umbrella? Umbrella
2017 was
videos came
definitely
out?
a transition because, I went in, of course, and then a whole bunch of podcasts was born, like at that moment. And it was like a lane for a lot of people to attack. And I got a lot of letters, bro. I probably got like 2,000 letters within the first 2-3 weeks of being in jail. It was so crazy that the mail people would come with 2 bags and dump the mail bags all on the fucking ping pong table and be like, "Yo, this all Campbell," and then call 3 other names for their mail and the rest to be mine. And it was at that point when it really hit me what I was doing because I couldn't believe that these letters was coming from Switzerland and Bosnia and shit. I was
Wow.
like,
Mm-hmm.
this shit was the craziest shit to me. Like a dude got me sent to the box because he sent me Switzerland money in the mail. So they thought I was trying to smuggle some
Yeah.
shit. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the point is that at that point, I was getting these letters. People was telling me about what was being said about me on podcasts. It was like such a crazy thing because I found out that so many people didn't like me once I went to jail. I really didn't know. So I found that out. I was just confused. I was like, this don't make no sense. I'm like, how the fuck does this work? Like, so one of the first things that happened was I got a letter from somebody and they was like, yo, they would, what's the fuck is the comedian dude name that I used to have on my show sometime?
You know you got me
You
there.
know this nigga name.
Damn.
Dark skin nigga. Huh?
Oh, Damien. It was a Damien Lemon, right?
No. Dark skin dude from Cali. He said he Crazy watching something? Did he watch a room?
Oh, you talking about
This
what's the name? The old nigga,
TK
the
Kirkland, y'all.
yeah.
who raised you?
TK
TK
Yeah,
Kirkland.
Kirkland.
TK Kirkland. Who raised
yeah,
you?
TK Kirkland.
Who
Yo,
raised
Yeah,
you?
So
y'all are menaces.
TK Kirkland went ham on me as soon as I got locked up. And that was like one of the first instances I seen on how fast a face could change.
yeah. Mhm,
So
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
in
mhm.
the course of faces changing, I'm just looking at the faces that remain the same. And I'm like
Right.
honoring them and I'm gold plating them and I just want to keep them on my wall. Like, damn, this dude is sturdy because I was speaking to this nigga every day and I didn't know that he felt this way about me. He just went ham on me everywhere he went. And I was like, I didn't understand it, but then I grasped it and I said, damn, this dude, I was booked to do a show and I think we was going to Africa or some shit like that. We was going like we was. It was me, Reggie, and Charlamagne was supposed to go on a tour in Africa or some shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how that came. I'm gonna tell you how that came about too. Go ahead.
And then the kid was like, I told him about it. He was like, yo, put me on there. So I'm like, I can't put you on there. Like, I ain't the one who booked that. And I'm like, I just got booked. I'm lucky to be there. He's like, yo, but you could slide me in, nigga. Like, nah, man. And I'm like, nah, I can't. Like, I didn't, you understand? And from that moment, this nigga was mad. And he started expressing himself about me on podcasts. And my thing is, right, what I really realized with this podcast shit. So for instance, right, yesterday, I direct message Adam 22 from No Jumper, right? I say, yo, Adam, cause he's been DMing me for weeks asking me to come on his show, but I was not answering that nigga because I'm actually trying to stay away from that cloth of white people. I know that cloth of white people, they white as fuck. So I'm trying to stay away from that shit, right? So
Haram.
Yeah,
when I seen the Pop Smoke interview, I seen people talking about it, the dude who killed Pop Smoke. And I'm like, I don't know.
yeah.
Spoke to Pop Smoke while I was in jail. At 17, my friend Bear used to call me Pop Smoke all the time. So I know the kid was young or whatever, whatever it might be. But my point was when I told Adam, I said, Adam, that was tasteless for you to interview this dude's killer. And he said, how different is it with interviewing you? So I said, it's a big difference. The difference is that I was scheduled to do your podcast way before I had an incident. I was coming to LA, right? And you was interviewing me because I had a better podcast than you. Remember? You was up there saying I had the best podcast on your podcast, right? That's
Mhm.
why you interviewed me. You didn't interview me because I did something to somebody or somebody said you didn't interview me for that. And when you tried to bring up anything like that, we didn't speak on that. I never bragged about doing anything, no harm to anybody. Right? I never done that. So you got this kid up there talking about I don't regret doing what I did and blah, 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 blah. My whole point was Adam, this kid has nothing to do with hip hop. He took somebody away from hip hop and you supposed to be a podcast that speaks on hip hop culture. But I said, now I know you're not a podcast that's speaking on hip hop culture. You're a podcast that wants to just exploit black culture. So, it's not about hip hop for you because I said, Adam, if a bum right now killed you on Hollywood Boulevard, not have a platform for him to ask why he did that. You know what platform speaks to him? The news. You understand? If Channel 12 News, if Channel 2, if Channel 7 wanted to speak to that kid, then that's a proper interview. That's not an interview for you to give. So I said another thing you got to understand is the reason I haven't been responding to you is because you have that old blood dude on your show all the time. And this dude is up there talking about he got sex tapes with Nipsey Hussle. He's up there talking about he has all this shit about a dead person. Now this dude has a wife. He has kids. He has a baby mother, a mother, brothers speaking falsehoods on people and trying to hurt people that's alive. You're so mad at a dead person that you want to hurt the people that's alive in his family. And I said, bro, I never was out here to hurt nobody. I speak brash, you understand? I could cut ass, but when I realize that somebody's offended or hurt, I can easily back up and be like, yo, that ain't about nothing. We're not doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
I see now that, so then after that, I said, yo, do me a favor and leave this conversation here. I said, matter of fact, I already know what you're going to do. And then 2 minutes later, he was on his story talking about, yeah, Taxstone told me, and da. And I said, here goes the white people. But that's my fault because I'm not supposed to know you. So I'm not even blaming you for nothing you're doing, Adam. I am not supposed to know you. That is my fault. I apologize, my Jesus piece. The point of that conversation was that these niggas get mad at you, and the first thing they do, we're talking in a direct message, talking, not arguing.
And the first thing you do is put a camera in your face telling the people what I said to you.
IG stories, yeah. But that just
Then you
goes to
go,
show how big your impact is still, that he feels the need with his millions of followers
so
to
you gotta
still
say
talk about
something.
it.
If you a bitch and you know you a bitch and you know I'm not a bitch, you still gotta be a bitch. It don't matter where I'm at. You understand? The thing is that a bitch don't have nothing to do with masculinity. A bitch don't have nothing to do with being tough. A bitch just has something to do with you maintaining the two balls that you have. You understand? You're not compromising yourself to be a pussy when it's time to be, like most of you niggas will. You understand? You're not lying about who you actually are. You are the fabric you speak of. See, the thing is, with dudes like Adam, the reason I'm not worried about Adam is because they're gonna kill Adam. And when Adam dies, nobody should be surprised because you're selling death. You're promoting death on your show. Like there was numerous wars going on in Brooklyn and things like that in New York where I could have brought these kids up there and say, yo, I know you want to say something to the shows. Nigga, we're not doing that. We're not promoting that bullshit on this shit. That shit y'all doing is dumb. We're not promoting that. So when this white guy goes up there, he want to interview all the idiots from Chicago, these niggas that fucking can't even read. They up there talking about a whole bunch of nonsense. I see clips niggas talking about y'all still calling us. I do this. This nigga up there, bro. So this is a show to just exploit black culture and to make money off black culture. And then you got these weird ass sexual deviant niggas because that's the problem. That's why I think people believe a lot of people come to jail and be gay because these niggas are sexual deviants anyway. These niggas will get horny off anything. You understand? And the reason I say that is that you sit next to this nigga, knowing this nigga over here talking about how big this nigga dick is that went to his girl. But you sitting at the table dapping this nigga. You can't give me a pound. He can't give me a pound.
Nah, that's a fact.
See, I got
That's a
gay
fact.
friends. My gay friends can give me a pound, but that nigga can't give me a pound. You understand? So I just had to get that off because I was like, I knew this fucking dude. Like, I don't hate that nigga. I don't dislike him or nothing. He is what he is. You can look at that nigga and see you scum. They gave you some money. Now you don't know how to act. And that's the biggest thing. That this is another thing. Raqi, right? Raqi created a fucking avenue, right? To profit off of something that niggas was just doing for free and just getting it out there, right? These dudes start finding ads, start getting corporations in the mix. Do you know how hard it was to do that shit? So when I heard other podcasters talking about Reggie in a manner like he was nothing or did nothing, that was the craziest shit I ever heard because those same dudes were trying to get down with him. Those same dudes were asking for the stars. Yo, Reggie, how can we get next to Tristan Walker? How can we get next to these person? How can we get this ad? And then y'all niggas get y'all big ass checks from the corporations. Y'all start acting like Reggie ain't exist. That is crazy. We niggas fuck to get them checks. Nigga, you with you like it is not like so the thing is that it's beautiful that they getting this money, but it's like look at the characters, bro. Like you got filthy people. You filthy. Like you think you better than me because I got convicted of murder and you out there. No, you still a piece of shit, nigga. There's nothing, nigga. I would not trade myself to be you all life. Trade myself to be Adam. I would never do something like that. You understand? I could never want to be that. But in their heads, because the ideology of the poor nigga mentality is money, money, money. So this is the only thing that I see in my comments with people. They was like, yo, I know you mad. These niggas out here getting a bigger bag than you was getting. They out here getting this. And I'm sitting there like, damn, well, that's what it was about. Yeah, I wish I did get some of that shit. But nigga, I know how to go get that shit. You understand? So it's like for y'all, that's an issue because y'all free and y'all still can't go get that shit. So it's really you who you mad at. It ain't me. Sitting there watching a nigga that got the same 2 feet as you and got 4 wheels like you doing better than you. You understand? It ain't me. Don't look at me and talk about, yo, look what you did. So this goes back to the people who bring their insecurities on you and say, well, I would have been crying for 10 years. Of course you would have. You're a bitch. You know what I mean? You're a bitch. I just wanted to get that out. Rest in peace, Combat Jack. Loudspeaker Network carved the niche and the earth for every hip hop podcast you're seeing out there. For more than hip hop, This nigga had fan bros on there. You understand? They on there talking about comic books, movies. You understand? Like, these niggas really created a fucking niche. And just like I said, I just want to make sure that Reggie always gives respect. You know what I mean? He just changed Bergen Avenue today. Reggie Osei Place, Bergen Avenue in Brooklyn. Reggie's block. That's phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Yo,
And
yo, Tax.
yeah, beloved.
Yo, when you was in LA, right? After your incident and you was you seen combat, what was bro telling you? Like what type of advice he was giving you? Like
Unless he just was on something, he just was checking my mental. And he was like, Tax, like, he said, you know, sometimes you meet people and you know, you think that they're macho or whatever the fuck might be. And he said, I sit here and realize that he said, yo, you're very mentally strong. And I said, why make you say that? He said, because you're all right. I was like, Reggie, I'm alive. I was like, I'm alive, bro. Like, do you understand what it feels like to escape death? And you sitting there like, what's up, motherfucker? I'm alive. You understand? So
Hmm.
I've been through that several times and ain't nothing like that feeling because it attacks you all the time because you get post-traumatic stress disorder because this is the reason that I'm a scary dude now is because of all the times I've been attacked. You know what I mean? And he just was
Right,
like, oh, you
right.
holding up well mentally. And I was like, yeah, Reg, like I understand the things I can't change. You understand? And
yeah,
I got the wisdom to know the difference. And it was just more or less him telling me he was supporting me, more or less. You know what I mean?
yeah. You know what it was
Appreciated
with
that alone.
nah. He sucked. He always like one thing about combat though. He always gave me like that that guidance counselor like social worker type of
Hmm.
guidance. Nah, for real. Cause like
And then
what it is
he's
Yeah.
for
talk
me. Like
mad smooth too. So
yeah, cause
he on some therapist shit.
yeah, smooth therapy, and he always had like some type of good juke cologne on or something. Like
Nigga said Jew.
that's my bit, cause like you gotta remember, like that's how I relate to things, like, cause that's my mind. You know what I mean? My mind has been already preset on that. So like the things he used to tell me, like I remember one time we was at a Duce party, like this is like after we did our interview and shit. I pulled up, it was on Ralph at a Brownstone, some crazy shit. And we was up in there. We in the back. I'm in the backyard for like 20 minutes. I'm sipping, smoking. And I remember Reggie jumped from like out of a bush in the backyard. And he was like, and I just remember he did like some crazy shit. He jumped out and he just out of nowhere ran up on me, grabbed me up. And he
Reggie
was
the
like, yo,
party animal.
yeah, and he had the front shit. He had his gold fronts in his mouth and he had the
That
Douce
nigga turns
sweat.
up.
Yeah, my man was on it. And he just grabbed me and he was like, yo, I'm fucking proud of you. And that's it.
Mm,
And he
yeah.
just like that shit. He walked away, and I was just like, damn, like you know what I'm saying? Like I was just shit just hit me because I was like, damn, man, like like shit's crazy, son. Because like it's life changing, man. It's crazy how everything just falls together.
Hmm.
Yo,
And
hey,
Hmm.
now
yo,
look
Tax.
how my man is in there now. Shit crazy. I remember one
Yo,
time when Tax pulled up to my block, man. Like after that shit went down, he pulled up on me like 3 days after. I remember son just pulled up, jumped out the whip. We both like just looked at each other and started laughing. And we ain't say nothing about nothing. I was just like, yo, I don't even want to know nothing about nothing. We just gonna chill, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's when I knew, you know what I mean? Like this is not, and not to say to make light of the situation, but it's just to get through is like you gotta be strong minded, strong willed and strong hearted to survive the things that we survive.
for sure, for sure.
You know what I mean? Just to be
Shit
able to
always
like
people in Chicago, my nigga. Jesus Christ.
We got
shit real,
I
shit
know
real.
we have a few content creators, some producers, hosts,
Away
podcasters,
from
things like that. So I just want
the
to play
music.
this clip here from Combat Jack, and he was just discussing about when he transitioned from being a lawyer into doing what he was doing with Loudspeaker Network. And I think it's just a dope piece to hear because a lot of people right now they're in such a rush. We got J-Mo here. J-Mo's only 24, and I think he's making big strides already. A lot of these new kids, they jump on these phones and not talking down. This ain't some old lady, old hag shit, or the old school versus, but a lot of new kids, they have access to tools that we didn't have. So they're able to turn on their phone, turn on their iPad right from their room. And, they expect shit to just be lit immediately. So I just think
industry.
this is a dope clip. This is a dope clip that, JMO actually found. So I'm about to play it right now.
Like when I decided to walk
Thank you.
away from the music industry, Cats thought I was crazy, but I just had to let go of everything.
How old were you?
I was 40.
Wow.
Did you know he was a lawyer?
I did. I
Yeah.
don't know a lot about the history, but I knew that part.
Nah, I mean, one of my first clients was Jay and
Right.
Rockefeller and Dame, and we did everything with Diddy and the whole nine. But it got to a point where it's like, yo, I'm not happy. The money's good.
What was it? What was not happy about it? Like, what was?
You know, it was the hustle was work. You know what I'm saying? The hustle was work. And
But isn't any hustle work?
No, listen, but what we're doing right now, I'm hustling harder and it's not work.
And you love it.
It's not work. You know what I'm saying?
But
it's
you know what's
effortless.
important? No, but you know what's
it's not
important?
easy. Hold up, P. It's not easy, but it's effortless, P. You know what I mean?
I feel you 100.
Like when I decided to walk away from.
Yes, I thought that clip was extra special. You know, he walked away from a very successful career as a music attorney at 40 years old. So, you know, don't ever count yourself out.
Damn, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Combat.
that was crazy. He was working hard, man. At 53, he was like, I got my shit together, but, you know, he still didn't think he had his shit together.
Yo,
Still
Combat
was
was having
pushing
a
work.
lot of fun, man. Yo, word of mother, I used to look at Combat and say, this old ass motherfucker be lit.
Strong.
And that's how I want to be. I want to be a whole lit motherfucker. You gotta have a strong back.
You know what's crazy?
I
It
started
was
doing drugs though when I turned 55.
it was like you didn't see his age, how he was moving. You know what I mean? And mind you, that's 53 when he transitioned. He was already in the space, you know, quite for a little while now. And then prior to that, for those who knew him before, we got to him when he was an entertainment attorney, right? So like he came with all of that. So now us being close to it, we introduced to that world. Like, oh, okay, these are the lawyer guys he came up with. You know, Ed Woods, rest in peace, who was his attorney partner, the first black law firm in hip hop, right? Osei and Woods. So we getting into that, like, oh, they been partying, they been getting lit, they been I thought about it too recently. I'm like, damn, man, with all of the allegations on Diddy and shit, being that he was one of the
Attorney.
attorneys, and I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, what would he say right now? You know what I mean? With all that's going on. But yeah, man, shit, he was different in that regard. And to your point, Tax, about the
Make it to a
podcast
Diddy
space.
party.
Yeah, he definitely went to a Diddy party. I don't know if Diddy was doing what he's alleged at this point,
I
but
mean, I don't know. I
He's
don't
not.
know too many people
Listen,
who weren't
you
in the
gotta
industry that
understand
didn't
something.
attend the Diddy party.
A lot of people be acting like Diddy parties might be considered crimes now, but a lot of them shits wasn't crimes 15 years ago.
yeah, yeah,
I
It was
mean,
a staple
I
event.
attended a few Diddy parties. I never personally seen anything, so shit.
no,
Them things was litty.
So many people started suing
Now,
Diddy. I was about to say that nigga did something to me. I was about to say, fuck, it is it, Diddy. They already got you. I'm gonna just jump on this train too. You heard?
from Diddy parties to Rock Nation brunches and Mike Rubin parties. Now that's where
Yo,
we
what
at.
is the issue? Why are people so mad at people and Michael Rubin doing these shows?
I think
It
it's
looks like
because
a trend.
Why?
I think it's just the people who don't get invited. They always be bad at some shit they not invited to.
right.
Oh yeah, I saw that video. He was talking about that guy that is salty. He said he's dead to him. I don't know who the dude is, but
That's crazy.
he said he didn't invite him to the party. But
Dave
I think he's talking
Portnoy.
about Dave Portnoy
Yeah,
from
from
Barstool.
Barstool.
Yep.
Yeah, I see that
I think
clip.
Dave Portnoy wanted to bring some of his guests with him, and he was like, Jay-Z and Beyonce don't bring 3 guests. So there's that. And Dave is kind of buck wild, so I'm sure he cursed his ass out.
The
Yeah,
Mike
but
Rubin
what
party
is the
just
thing?
looking
What is the
serious, bro.
what is the thing? Because it's like, you got the Roc Nation brunch, right? And you have this what's the rich dude name? Mike Rubin, right? And
yeah,
you have this like it's like a stigma it is around the parties that it's like something else is going on there.
I mean, when you look at the
What are people
pictures, yeah,
doing?
if we being honest, you know,
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost, it's a white man who's pretty much surrounded by black men in the entertainment industry. So there goes that whole idea of culture vulture. There's also like just within the pictures, you see said black men who are usually, you know, the hyper masculine rappers and shit, all hugged up and bunched up with Mike Rubin, and it's looking kind of weird. We're not used to that in our communities where, black men aren't constantly hugging each other and horse playing and goddamn wrestling on camera.
Yeah,
So
that's
with that
crazy.
shit happening at Michael Rubin's part, it just seems a little bit weird. And it kind of falls in line too with how, I guess Meek Mill was like hopping
I
like a
think
bunny
these
for him
niggas,
one time.
I think
It's a
these
little
niggas
weird. It's a little
think
weird.
that these people are making things weird. See, it's like the pause game, right? Where you can say, yo, man, I want a hot dog. And now it's pause. Not a hot dog. It's actually gay. You understand?
Mute your mic if you're
But
coughing. My bad.
you just make it issue like, oh, it's gay, or pause. So it's like, I think like the thinking of it, and it's just like, all I'm saying is that, like, if a nigga got a video and he's like, yo, listen, this is what's really going on there. When you get there, Meek Mill is eating little baby ass. Then I can understand it. But I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like, oh my God, you went to the party? Like, what the fuck? Like,
The last time we saw a famous nigga throw a white party, it was Diddy, bro. And now
yeah,
look.
and
Now look, it's something.
it was a whole bunch of fun.
But
Everybody had fun.
we're not gonna pretend it ain't some freak shit going on behind the scenes. And we can't use that. People don't use that freak shit as leverage to get their
How do
career
you know that?
sideways with. You know how I know that.
You understand? I ain't been to my movie party, so I don't know if they fucking there. Now, what I do know is people at parties get drunk, do drugs, and yes, somebody might fuck. At any party. So I'm saying in an environment where everybody is like maybe doing well, they're having fun, they flaunt money, they might have the best drugs, some great liquor, some great women, of course. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I mean, people do use discernment too, and you can pick up certain frequencies from just pictures alone for sure. And
But I
seeing
just
how
think it's
you know
drag. Like,
you got cats, screaming, drug deals and murder all day on they rap songs, and then they get around Michael Rubin and they turn into little
no, but
fairies and shit.
listen
Legs
what I'm
start
trying to
doing some
explain
weird
though. Listen
shit.
what I'm trying to explain though. Look
This shit
at
is
the
weird.
pictures, right? Look at the pictures, right? A picture is dangerous. Door, nigga. Picture is dangerous. The reason the picture is dangerous is because these niggas is in movement. So you see a picture where that shit could have been snapped maybe 70 times, or he hooked the nigga where he hooked his arm around the nigga, and now the shit just looked fruity at that moment. You heard? So it's like, oh, this fuck kind of,
I feel you, but I know that I have never seen as many compromising photos from
like, this
one
is what I
event.
know. This is what I know about hypermasculine men. If they being a faggot, they don't want nobody to know that they acting gay, being gay in any way. Pardon my gay friends for saying faggot. I'm trying to stop saying that shit, but I'm in jail. The niggas was faggot
Congratulations.
alert there, you heard?
Word.
No, I got gay friends. I don't even know if I got gay fans. I got gay friends though, so I don't want to offend them niggas.
Yo, everybody
It's
check the jumbo, bro. And tell me this don't look like some weird shit. It don't look like, okay,
like
something's
you will
going on.
never see a group of black men entangled like that. And my thing is, sure, there's
Nah, that
paparazzi.
picture, listen,
They have their own event photographers there.
that
So why
picture
don't they
is nuts.
select what, but my thing is why do they keep pushing these style pictures from those parties, with the exception of this year, because I feel like things
Sort of.
kind of blew up.
On
But
his
if you have
ass.
your own event photographers, why are you releasing these pictures? I think it's weird. I think it's a little agenda.
I
Me
think the
personally.
event photographer is ODing because if that picture is ridiculous. But even
Those pictures will
if you
not be
look at the
released
picture,
without their permission.
you
This big billionaire status. These pictures aren't just, the photographer's not just, I'm gonna just drop these pictures. They gotta be pushed by Michael Rubin and whoever else is running these events. So they like these pictures for a reason. And this one right here, Kyle, Kazuma, little baby Mike Rubin, this shit look fishy.
Bro, here's the thing, bro. Whenever a group of famous motherfuckers get together, it's an assumption some insidious shit has happened. Right? So now you got all these niggas together, dressed in all kind of the same outfit, smiling, dancing. Nigga, we all saw Midsommar, bro.
ass niggas. You fucking blood niggas the fuck away from me, man. Door open ass niggas come over here interrupting me while I'm talking, yo. Wide open. So fuck all y'all gangbangers out there too. Piss me off. Fuck wrong with these niggas. Like I was saying, Nam Yo Horenge Kyo. Nam yo horenge sho.
Yo,
Yo.
Reg was a Buddhist too, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a
Hmm?
fact. My son
Yeah.
definitely was a Buddhist.
Yeah, he introduced me to the practice and shit. Like,
Hey, I ain't know that. That's wild.
yeah, yep.
I
For
ain't know
like
that
for like
neither.
for like 40 years or something like that.
Wow, my son was true to it.
Yep. He
No,
was,
funny
man.
I
shit.
mean, you could
Combat
just
Jack taught me
tell. You could
about
just
karma.
With the
tell in his
brilliant
actions and
idiots.
how he moved. He moved very, very differently than a lot of people in this industry. He had enough experience and life and party in him to have been jaded, and he absolutely wasn't that type of person at all. In fact, when I really got to know him, I think it was like 2012 or 2013, and I was in a fucked up contract, and somebody who I was talking with, I spoke with him to get some advice, and he called me, and it was just we spent a couple minutes talking about the contract, and he advised me very well on that, but also just tapped in and was like, yo, I know your cloth and I know what you're going through. And I know that, this type of shit is affecting your spirit. And I low
Mm.
key broke down on the phone with him because I was like, this is the total opposite of who I am, the essence of who I am. Sometimes you end up in a contract where you got to deal with certain things and become part of a program. But he was like, absolutely not. And he had promised to stay on my line and make sure that I got out of that dark space that I was in at that time. And he did. And he didn't have to. And he was just relentless in checking in on me and just constantly giving me affirmations and, telling me I'm up next. And one of my biggest regrets is not, stepping into basically the position that he was almost rolling out for me. Like he believed in me in ways that, a lot of people either aren't comfortable with expressing or maybe just don't. But I do regret not being able to like really push forward in that space that he was like, yo, Rock, you got next. This is you. But I also, from that relationship there, I met with A King, and he's also has been on my ass for several years. Like, what are you doing,
Yeah,
Rock?
you just be teasing. You be throwing any teasers. I was like, oh, all right, what we doing? And
Here she go.
I'm like, yo,
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
and then she get quiet, and then it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Oh shit.
You good, Rock?
Yeah, almost got electrocuted.
Damn.
That's the frequency.
Hey, King, you
Wait, hold
had
on. So
a.
how did Brilliant Idiots in the Read come out? Like
mm.
through loudspeakers. Like how did that come
So,
about? I want to know how that come about.
all right, so remember how Tax was talking about the money part of it, right? So for the first 2 years,
Yeah.
technically we was doing internet radio, right? When he referenced PNC radio at the time, we was functioning as a pod, but we was doing it live. So we would click on this link and we had the whole chat. All the shit you see now, we was already doing it then. Not to be that guy, but it just that we were trying to figure out innovative ways because we was participating on the internets, as Dallas Penn coined, right? So it's like we wanted to gather the community into what we were doing. So for the first 2 years, we were just doing this shit. It was just a getaway. Like, we link up every 7 days to shoot the shit. And once people was following this shit and was fucking with it, we was like, oh, we might be on to something, and we would put the audio up on SoundCloud, for whoever didn't listen live, right? So after the
Hmm.
first 2.5 years or so, right, this the spot we was in Dumbo, was going through renovations.
Dumbo.
Yeah, 10J Street, they was going through renovations, right? So Reg was always like a forward thinker, he was like, damn, we can't be off air for 2 weeks because 2 weeks off the internet, you're done. So
Hmm.
one thing about Reg, he was heavy on Twitter. His rhythm was he would get on like 6 in the morning. He would be tweeting about politics, whatever's going on, social, music, whatever. He was just super active.
Where's Pete at? Pete in the room?
Yeah, I sent them the link. I don't know if he in here. I'm not looking at the screen, but I
Yeah,
I
sent
don't,
him
I
the
don't
link.
we
see
just
him.
had.
And and it was going through the spot was going through renovations. So he was like, damn. So he got on Twitter. He was like, yo, I need a new spot, for the interim. And man, we was getting hit from like hole in the walls and Flatbush. And I'm like, bro, we're not recording at nobody's crib in Flatbush, bro.
Hmm.
So then Chris Morrow, he was already a fan. Like he's kind of was like looking on the outside, and he's from Brooklyn. He was seeing what's going on, and him and Reg had a conversation, and then he was like, "Yo, I got a spot for y'all to record, but it won't be live. but y'all gotta be super under the radar, right? He was over at iHeart at the time, well, Clear Channel before it turned into iHeart, and we were recording at Radio City. That's where they do a lot of their syndicated. At the time, they were doing a lot of their syndicated broadcasting. So we would literally go there after hours and do our interviews. So if you look on YouTube and you see like some of the videos where we're like in a radio setting, that was the spot when we transitioned out of Gumbo. And at that moment, we were like, damn, we doing this shit. We like doing it pre-recorded, and rest in peace, Jazz Fly. She was vying to be the female energy on the show, the woman energy on the show. So she was also doing, I think it was Gossip Girl. Raqi
Gossip
helped me.
Girl. Yep.
Gossip Girl, right.
Okay.
So the thing was, all of the girls had to have something. So she was a writer and she was doing
She was a
stuff.
writer. She
But
had her own publishing house.
correct. She got with this with Shorty from Detroit, NY Delight, who was our original woman co-host when we first started. But NY Delight was all over the place. So, but it was still fam. So they created a pod. I think it was called Reality Check, and that was to support what they would do, what she was doing for the reality show, right? So then, at that point, she was like, "Yo, y'all need to rock with this kid named Kid Fury." Kid Fury was rocking on the internet crazy, like on YouTube. So it got to, cause I think what it was is she interviewed him. So at that point, we were like, "Yo, if we're gonna be engaging in these conversations and you know, pitching, produce these shows, we need to come up with a brand, a network, so to speak." So we would go on air. I mean, we would go on our pod and just we ask the house, what should we name it? You know what I mean? And one thing led to another, and we had all. I think email somewhere. It's like the wildest names before we settled on loudspeakers. And at that point, it was like, yo, this is what it is, right? Then Charlotte, he was a guest on the show. Yo, we need to do this shit because he was already on the radio, and she was doing. She was already at the time. She wasn't doing service. That's what she was doing. With a series she got with the Breakfast Club.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
she
that
was
was
serious
She.
for her to
XM, yeah.
bring that back. She was able to bring that back in the pod form.
She's on Shade
So it was
45.
all of these different, so she would, all of these different dynamics would happen. So then Kid Fury got on board, him and Crystal did the read, and now we rocking. We like, okay, cool. And then friends, Fan Bros, Sneaker Fiends Unite, and then it was, we couldn't stay in that space for too long either because shit got crazy because we weren't officially part of none of that stuff. So we ended up going to this other studio in Financial District, you know what I'm saying, and that's where the next part of the magic started happening. And fast forward, we get, Charlotte was like, "Yo, you gotta fuck with this kid Tax, have you on Twitter and all this other crazy shit," and we would see him and shit, and we're like, "Yo," and then he came to the studio, and it was like, all right, cool, and he started rocking. It was instant. It was almost instant. Like they knew he was a star. You know what I mean? So, and then from that point, it was just like we became like what some may call the Def Jam of podcasting. You know what I'm saying? We would just be like one of the first, or if not the first, I'm not
Yeah, that's
sure.
a fact. That's a fact. That's definitely
It, it,
the Def Jam of podcasting. That was a good label of it.
yeah. So it was
And
like
all those
we
brands were
started
like
doing
under
that, and low
Sirius, right?
key, nah, they were the shows I mentioned.
Yeah, like didn't those
Nah,
shows help like to build Sirius XM around that time?
no. I mean, they was functioning separately at that point. And then also too, remember a lot of those outlets like that didn't embrace podcasting because they didn't know what it
Right.
was.
It wasn't supposed to be
Okay.
the big boom that it is.
And to be quite honest, how we doing it, we on at least in the inception was like, yo, we're gonna do this to get to the radio because we felt like
Exactly.
radio needed to change. You know what I'm saying? And so we was like, all right, we got some voices. Why not try to make that the target? Not realizing that, we're creating this blueprint for us and others. You know what I'm saying? So, as we start building out the network, it was like, yo, everybody was hitting us like, yo, I want to do a show. I want to do a show. It got so crazy. But then at that point, you kind of covet the energy and see what makes sense and kind of pick and choose. But I mean, he mentioned Adam. Adam was on loudspeakers for a brief time. You know what I'm saying? But that was before, what he is now. You know what I'm saying? Angela Rye, she got a show. She had a show on loudspeakers. It's just so much, man. It's so much,
Everybody was on loudspeaker.
so much
Angela
dope people.
Yee, DJ Envy,
Yes, Envy
Vlad.
and his wife Gigi, Vlad. So with Vlad, we was taking his audio and we was just
And that's another
putting it
conversation that I
to
think needs to be stressed. People have to understand that podcast is audio and video is a completely different thing. And I think that people need to
yeah,
start tackling to
yeah,
make sure that they
yeah,
get a different contract for your videos opposed to your audio, because it should not be bunched up in one, because the definition of podcast is audio. They might be trying to change it now, but nigga, no. Video is podcasting, so for the video.
Hello? Tack?
Patsy, when out, you here?
that's his line.
Yeah, he went out. Yeah, I wanted to ask him a question too. So I think the video is just considered as a show, and then the audio
Yo,
would
Will
be a
Kelly, you a
podcast.
troublemaker, bro.
Yeah, but for podcasts, like I just feel like people is not attacking these companies correctly. Like, nigga, yeah, the audio was one, but the video was another. It ain't no 360 deal. You get
Nope.
what I'm saying? Motherfuckers got to start opening their brain and start tackling more shit. You got these niggas running around here with this new lingo they learned, IPO and shit that they just found out about. These 50-year-old dummies. My IPO.
So the
You
video
ever
is
see the nigga
so
learn a
the
new word and start abusing that shit?
what would the video be considered then? It would be considered a show.
It's the video
Yeah.
of the podcast, but it's not the same thing.
Okay.
Podcast was from the iPod, bro.
With Matt Raz. I saw Matt Raz in here too a little while ago. I don't see him no
OG
more.
Matt Raz from the
He just came
motherland.
home.
Matt Raz is South
He just
African
came home.
white man, Elon Musk cousin.
Crazy.
My son, Matt Rat.
Yeah, but not combat. He
But
was
yeah,
like
but
a
look
Howard
at the
Stern
space
in
now,
that.
bro.
Everybody Beth got mad pictures of Matt Raz in his phone.
Laying in piss.
Niggas had me crying. Niggas sent me a random picture of Matt Raz. I was in
I
stitches,
seen
bro. I
him
said, this
laying on
nigga is
Bushwick
fried.
Ave one day. I was like, yo, get up.
Oh man.
Matt Raz was out there picking up prostitutes.
On a scooter.
Hey, allegedly.
Jameson, hold
Jesus
me down. I can't
Christ.
switch my board up.
He
I
was
got
on
you.
Stanley.
He was on Cozans.
Jameson, you in Chicago?
Yeah, bro.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my nigga. I'm getting out as soon as I can. I'm just trying to survive right now.
Well, we're gonna pray for you as much as possible,
Please
beloved.
do,
I can't. Ain't nothing in Chicago going on but rapping and shooting,
bro. I'm
bro.
not even from here, dog.
Jesus
I'm not even
Christ.
from here. I don't even know. I'm like, I'm going to the wrong spot. Niggas like, wait, you there at what time? I'm like, oh, I can't even go to the corner store. What? Nah, that shit crazy, man. But hey, King, you got any stories, any you two tax, any anybody, any like just stories of like some crazy shit just in the process with combat?
Man, I ain't even talking about the crazy shit that happened with combat. It's too crazy. So,
Like what?
let's have some wild time. Yo, word of my mother, I seen combat one time at a party. And it was a party that I felt like I didn't belong at. You heard? I'm like, I think I'm too old to be here. And then combat walked in. I was fucking crying, yo. And my son was turned the fuck up, yo. And that's what I love. That's what I miss from combat. Him being turned up in the fucking party because he gonna have a good time. I mean, but
But what's crazy, Tax? Like the space when we came up in the space, right? That was during the blog era too. So it was like all these rap shows, all these open bars, like New York, Brooklyn, the city, Soho was popping. Like you might have went to 5 joints in one night and felt like you
Word.
missed the night because there was so much other shit going on. You know what I mean? So that I think that attributed to that shit. And then, when you trying to figure this thing out, you trying to shake hands with his babies everywhere. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to bring everybody into the fold.
So who would you say his competitors were at that time?
Nobody.
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 It was a lane. He was dead by himself. He
He
started pulling people in the
he
lane.
carved out
Like,
the lane his damn self. Yep.
yeah, it was literally his lane. And he said, "Yo, y'all can pull up here too." And it was like making an internet server. You know what I mean?
Today
Hmm.
they just honored Combat Jack with his own street name. His son posted, Shay posted today, happy birthday, Dad. The name was the street was named after you. It's the Reggie Combat Jack Osage Place right on Bergen Street. So that's really dope. That's really dope to have a street named after you. He deserved it. He earned it.
Yeah, his son is the city councilman, serving Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights. So he they got that
He's
pushed
making it
along
happen. I know
last year.
combat.
And
Proud as a
mhm,
motherfucker.
hell yeah, what crazy?
But I said just now when I seen that, I said, I know my boy is sick. Smiling like a motherfucker. So we gonna make sure.
What do you think he would do different now in the podcast space, given where we're at now?
It's a good question. I think we would have probably tapped into the international
Mm.
markets. So when you see pods like Shits and
Mm-hmm.
Gigs and those guys, I think they would have caught the attention for sure. Um, and he got a lot of love out there too. Oh, just to go back too about that Africa trip, Tax. So we had did the A3C festival one year, right? I think it was 2016, and we did our round. They had us doing all kind of shit, and on some last minute, like, yo, we know you guys are done, but do you mind, like, we want you guys to interview somebody? Like, who? Jay-Z? Like, who? Who else could we, like? This ain't part of the plan. It was like, yo, she's the mayor of Cape Town, South Africa. I forgot her name, but we was like, what? So no, you know what it was? We had interviewed Zaytoven, and then after that, they had wanted us to interview her. So we like, yo, we're not prepared because we our pride and joy is preparation and research. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so we was like, all right, give us like 30 minutes. So we literally got into this green room and we was like just doing wild research on Google, trying to get some talking points. And then we got to the point like, fuck it, we gonna freestyle it. And from that interview, her constituents, like she was about no play at all. She was just in there strictly. But for whatever we did, we opened her up, and she opened to us, and she was like, "Yo, I want y'all to come to Cape Town and do what you do." So that was the precursor to what was supposed to be, as Tax mentioned with Charla himself, the Combat Jack show. He was supposed to go out there and do like this whole thing, but I'm not sure what happened. I think it was something to do with election times and budgets and all these other clearances and whatnot. But that was a thing. That was supposed to happen for
What are
sure.
your thoughts on celebrities that are already successful, already are part of a major platform? Like, let's say Stephen A. Smith, who's obviously with
Hmm.
ESPN. What are your thoughts on him having a podcast, or just people that actually have huge platforms, are successful, make great money, and then they come over to the podcast world and maybe suck up some of the money that, some of the other content creators can be getting?
That's what it is.
I think he
That's a
hustling. I
fact.
look at it as
You eat what
hustling.
you kill?
And they know that. Look, we got to be honest with ourselves, right? When we complain about some of the guys that's out here, um, that just live on malarkey, they thrive off of it because we like
Right.
it. So I'm like, why do y'all complain about a guy like Act when y'all could have tuned him out 10 years ago? I don't have no issue with dude because we all have the collective choice.
Right, right.
And that's why I'm like, we got to look at ourselves like, yo, we just got to be honest. We like fuck
Right.
shit.
So, and to that,
You
and
know
to
what I'm
that
saying?
point, I hate to play devil's advocate. I kind of feel the
Yeah.
same way when it comes to like an Adam 22, because although yes, he is exploiting, the hip hop community and the black community, who is
Mm-hmm.
tapping in. So, folks got to take accountability for the type of shit that you know, that you're ingesting. You understand? You don't
And
have to
that's
listen to Adam 22. You don't have to listen to the type of shit
you
that
don't
he
have to,
promotes.
right?
But because of your listenership, because of your viewership, a motherfucker like Adam 22 is paid big time.
But they understand cultural behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they're going to keep feeding it until the behaviors of the culture change.
Yeah, that's just like
That's
this
the
new
only
Thing
reason they
is
do it.
that
podcast.
the world loves ignorance. I explained this the other day. The most liliest white person, the most calmest black man, they love an action movie. You know what I mean? They love a movie with a big gun bursting and bombs blowing up buildings. Like Marvel movies. Marvel movies are complete violence. You know what I mean? It could be a imagination, but at the end of the day, didn't we have people acting like the Joker? The Heath Ledger killed himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So people emulate art, and that's my thing with hip hop. Like as much as I love hip hop where it comes from in the stories, because a lot of you see how when you hear the OG speak, like we speaking our stories. That's the issue. They're not speaking their story.
Right.
Up there speaking other people's story. So now they have a whole group of people who looking at them as this person and act
yeah,
like this person. It's like that person is not even acting like themselves. They're acting like a stigma that people have created in hip hop. Hip hop wasn't all gangster. Hip hop wasn't all gangster. You know what I'm saying? Get children, nigga. Hey, ass nigga. Shut the fuck up. Fuck wrong with you. Get out my cell, nigga. Yeah. But like
and
I
then you
was
got the
saying,
Zeus Network. You
you
got
got
the Zeus Network with Tia Kemp,
asked somebody the other day. I said,
Tokyo
how much
Tony.
them girls getting paid to be fucking like that? And it's fighting. Like, I
Scrapping.
don't want no
Yeah,
woman that's up there. You cannot plant your seed in that type of soil. They just out here fighting every fucking 10 minutes. What in the fuck is going on, bro? Women ain't supposed to be doing. I feel horrible looking at that shit. But
yeah.
y'all
But so,
just,
what's your review on the Tia Kemp Tokyo Tony podcast with and Carlisa?
That
man,
shit's
we
good
need that.
trash.
That
It's
ain't
good
nothing but some
trash. We
old
like
drunk
it.
bitches.
It's good trash.
You
Them
said
bitches
we
like my
need that.
aunt.
You said we need that. Wait, hold on. But how could y'all say we need that and we need Adam? Like, I mean, those are both two disgusting shows.
No. See, this is the thing. I don't care about a lot of the shit that Adam does. You fucking the wife and with niggas, whatever the fuck might be, that's whatever you into. My thing is that when you start using things that are hurting people to try to use it as content, you understand? When you're
Exactly. Exactly.
fighting gang wars with people. Listen, I told y'all a story with Jim Jones, GCO Tax. Went through a day in Harlem.
You went out, Tax?
Yeah, he went out. It's that Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
He probably gonna jump down and come back up.
But yeah, there is a difference between being entertaining in the most
I
ghetto way, as a
feel
hood.
like
Who's that? As a
What's
hood
that?
auntie
feel
versus
like
an Adam 22 who's promoting um, issues that can lead to deaths and homicides and all of the above. So it's a major difference.
this dude is like asking about shit like that. This is my thing. These dudes have nothing to do with hip hop. He's just grabbing up street dudes and putting them up there, giving them a mic, and letting them tell him stories about entire gangs and gang crime that been going on forever. And the thing is that look at the kid. This kid killed Pop Smoke, and the first thing he did when he got home was do an interview. What the fuck are you doing an interview for?
Well, no, the first thing he did was try to extort
Gangster.
Adam. The first thing he tried to do was extort Adam and pull up to Adam joint and was like, "Yo, don't be talking about me without giving me no money." So I think that's how the interview came about. I think that's
Oh,
how.
that's how that happened.
Yeah,
Where'd you
that's
hear
how the
that? Where'd
interview
you hear
got
that,
started.
Dub? That's the first time I heard that.
No, what do you mean? That's all on the net. He
I'm
went to
just
Adam's
saying.
studio
Hmm.
soon as he soon as
Premium
he
Pete
came
in the
home.
spot. Ron Pete.
Soon as he came home.
That's crazy. Yeah, I see that happening because he be around a lot of gangbangers. So them same gangbangers is gonna kill him.
Yeah,
Johnny
Is this the
Daytop.
same
They're
kid
gonna.
that cut
Oh,
his ankle bracelet off? Ankle monitor?
yeah, same kid.
How is he still out?
No.
Yeah, what's
Because
up
that
with
shit
that?
was it probably was supposed to come on. And he just made it look like he did some fly
Yeah,
shit.
on the content already.
That makes
I'm
sense.
telling you, they kind of teach that. Yo, let me take me cutting this shit off. Like, come on, let's be serious.
You said Premium Pete in here
But the
now?
reason why they do that is because people will eat that
Yeah,
shit up.
Pete say yeah.
I can't find him. You guys see him?
No, I don't
Well,
see
yeah.
him.
They top.
I don't see him
He
neither.
just DM me. We gotta hit Elon and tell him they gotta have better ways to find people in this shit.
Word.
Somebody hit Jay Worthy up. Yo, big body, call
Why
Jay
you
Worthy
al-
and tell me
Yo,
his
why you always
brother-in-law,
asking me to his son on his
because he only answers for white people. Yo, white.
That's your heart.
Shout out to Don Will.
Nah, but
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That Kendrick video was alright. I like that shit.
You know it.
Yeah, Kendrick is a white doodle on his heart, Rocky.
Say that again. I missed it.
Kendrick a white doodle on his face, and you gonna say that it's hard.
Yes, I will. The president of the Dick Rider team. That's me. For sure. Now that video was dope. I will say, I didn't catch all the Easter eggs and all the subliminal shit that he had going on. I did use the internet to figure some shit out. Cause at first I'll be honest, I love Kendrick. He could have sat in a room by himself on the toilet for the whole video and I would have been like, yes, sir. But I was a little
Mm-hmm.
underwhelmed initially because I thought the shit was going to be a bloodbath because it just matched the battle. However, he went the artistic way as he usually does. And, little by little, every day they breaking this shit down. What's so crazy is there's a ton of people that will say, oh, he didn't really mean that. Y'all fucking reaching. Y'all think this connects to that. You think he did that much research? My thing is, even if he did not do the research to connect the dots on so many things, the fact that it's landing the way that it is, just goes to show that not only does he have the support of the people, he got the support of the ancestors of God Almighty. Yes, Lord. Use me, Lord.
Wow, Rocky.
What I love about it is that he
Shout
ain't
out to
tweet
Dub.
nothing. He ain't post nothing.
That's the
He
other
just
thing.
leave people
His
in
team,
suspense.
his team was a united front. They didn't sub people. Whitney could have followed him after Drake brought up the fact that she wasn't following him. She's only following Dave Free. She could have jumped on and followed him. They did nothing. They moved in silence. They was just a
Mm-hmm.
dope united front. Like, I really think the whole strategy and how they roll this battle out really needs to be studied. It's like, it was the cleanest rollout to a battle ever. And it's still not done. It's
the
still not done.
nigga didn't have to do that, Rocky. That's my whole point.
You think we're gonna get the next five
No,
at some point?
For
that shit was
sure.
cool, but that
For
shit ain't gonna
sure.
stop Drake
Mm.
though.
At all. But
So
he
I
had
mean,
yeah,
Drake
45
had
other
Drake
niggas
has
doing it for him.
like
exactly.
y'all hyping that shit up like it's like
Bring Miko in. You
So
got OG
crazy.
Miko in the building.
but that shit ain't gonna stop Drake at all.
Yo, anybody who wants to get on the stage, put in a request because I don't even see any requests. So just tap the mic.
Oh, you know what it is? It's damn. It's like it's pages of listeners. That's probably what's happening. They getting caught up in the
What you
hallway or
mean?
whatever they got, whatever they call it on the side.
Oh, my
What does
beloved.
that mean? I have no idea what that means.
At
Some
least
niggas got some.
when you scroll down, it said 106 other
Those are
listeners.
anonymous.
Oh, those. Oh, okay. I thought it was another page of people. All right, my
Yeah,
bad.
those
Mm-hmm.
106 anonymous listeners, which is crazy.
There goes Pete right there.
We got Premium Pete in the building. Pete, what's up
Primo.
with you, bro?
What's good, y'all?
Peace. What's
Yo,
good?
yo,
Pineapples on pizza.
Nah,
That's what's
never in a
good.
day. Tax, peace, and blessings.
Nah.
Let's do it.
you
Let's do a
pushing
poll
it.
right
You
now, Pete.
pushing it.
Let's
nah,
do a
pineapples
let's
on
do a
pizza
poll
is
right now in
fire.
the
I'm with
room.
A
I
on
bet
that.
you. I bet you. I
I
I
will.
mean, I
mean,
just started eating pineapples and rice, so I might have to try the pineapples on pizza.
cheese and pineapple?
Feel better.
Talk to me.
Nah, you're bugging. Cheese with apple for sure. Cheese and grapes.
I mean, pineapple alone is good enough.
Cut every
Happy
boy in there. What
Combat
do you call
Jack
that
Day
shit?
for sure, though.
Word up. Word.
Yep. Yep.
P, you have any stories, any dope stories you want to Honor Combat Jack with?
I live with stories. That's the only thing that keeps me alive.
Spit it. Spit it.
No, I mean, there's so many stories. I mean, I'll tell this one because it was just a good moment of both of them, Dallas Penn and Combat. Long time ago, we had his name Danny Dale, and Combat really wanted to explore the cannabis industry of understanding, the magazine and the culture behind it. He just loved to get, once in a while lit. This guy came with everything. And literally the first time I maybe haven't smoked in maybe 15 years. And that night we smoked. I'll never forget. It was one of the most classic moments. He actually drove my car. We went to this event that Just Blaze was spinning. That was Mobile Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And we all pulled up there mad late. And we're in the back room. Dallas is soul clap. And anybody that knows Dallas and got a chance to be out in a club with him, he loves to soul clap. And he just continues to clap. And it was just a real great vibe and energy. And then all of a sudden, him and Combat ran in another room. Now I'm a Brooklyn dude. What I mean by that is, I thought there was a problem. I already gripped up, in the sense of, I'm like, oh shit.
It's about to go down.
Something's going on. So I run in the other room.
I want to tell you.
I run in the room, Just Blaze is spinning. Everybody in the room looked like they didn't have a fucking bill in their life. Like there wasn't no rent. There was no problem. And I literally see Dallas and Combat breakdancing against Just Blaze. But the thing is, Dallas and Combat really couldn't mess with the floor moves. So they were doing the top heavy moves. So, they would come do a couple of breakdance top heavy moves and move around. Just, who I really understand this. Anybody who knows Just Blaze, the guy is good at anything he puts his mind to.
For sure.
Just turned around. He did he did a windmill, came back up and spun on his head and walked away from Combat in Dallas. I took that, even though I love Just, I took that yo, you can't have my guys out here. So I literally tapped the back of his shoulder, did about 4 windmills, spun back on my head, came into a coffee grinder, and everybody was confused that I even knew how to break dance.
This is too much.
Yo, came into a cold grinder, yo.
Yo, I'm dead serious. So, it was one of those moments. I mean, listen, I had so many moments with them and so many moments with Combat, but that moment I felt was such a beautiful moment, to share with them. Their energy was just so special. Combat's energy was so special. I mean, look, many people out here, he used to shut his phone off 8 hours before an interview. I don't know very few people I know that shut their phones off ever.
Yeah, for sure.
His preparation was just so special. His energy, the moments, even Tax, I
Yo,
think back,
G,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
G, that word to everything. What you just said was so true. That motherfucker was very, very meticulous. The way he carried his interviews out, yo,
Yeah.
you fucking 100% correct. I really was thinking about the shit as you were saying, and I said, yo, he's fucking all the way correct.
It's funny because think about this, and all of us, right? We may all play around, right? But there's sometimes you gotta be serious. I'll give him credit, man. When he taped, when he was in that mode, there was no fucking around. But meanwhile, he was somebody that would play around and joke around, but not at that moment.
Yeah, there's a time and place.
You know what
for
I'm saying?
everything,
He was so dialed in, and obviously it came out in his episodes. I feel like he was one of the few people that really humanized so many people in hip hop. You know what I mean? Took the moment to really understand more than just buy my album. More than just I was in this movie, and really, to be honest with you, anybody who's been around Combat, if he didn't make you a better person, then something was wrong. You know what I mean? If you didn't learn something, then something was wrong. So his energy, like I said, was always special. I try to remember him every chance I get. It's actually insane to me to sit here and say that Dallas is gone too. I feel like so much of a chapter of my life and history, has gone away.
They say when
But energy
when
never
elder passes,
dies.
a library is burned down.
And also too, for sure. and also my bad. And also I want to say with A King, I really appreciate A King more than people know. You know, sometimes when you sign up to even be a manager of somebody, just think about that. People don't realize you're a babysitter, a loan shark, a fucking therapist, you know, and A King really sacrificed and had the vision to really believe in grabbing this wild, you know how hard it is to get Dallas in combat in the room with other people and deal with all that? And, I want to give King a lot of respect, man, for really having the patience, the vision, and really just like kind of like forming the brotherhood that was created with that crew, man. And at the end of the day, to me, wherever I travel, people tell me how much they love Combat, the show, certain episodes. Maybe they were listening during, you know, being locked up or on the road or going through a tough time. And I miss that. Like, you know, when I came on, we were talking about like people talking fuck shit. Like, I miss people like inspiring other people by doing interviews.
Yeah.
Like, there was people he would bring on, I didn't even know. People became fans of them. You know, people become, you know, and I think that's what's special for sure. So,
Yeah.
you know, and I loved how much he believed. Like, he was a lawyer, and some of it we used to call, anybody knows, we used to call him like a burr. Like, sometimes we used to say burr, like, you know, like he was a little bit too, nah, man. He wasn't, because even with Tax, like, you know, there was nothing you were telling him. You know, like he believed in it
Yeah. Once he believed in
1,000%, you
you,
know,
it was 1,000.
yeah,
There's no stopping it.
and where he made,
One of the least
where we got
judgmental
behind him.
people on the planet,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep. So, you know, even me, Tax, I remember like early on, man, it's like he believed in so much, man. I made me believe even more. You know what I'm saying? And then just yourself spoke for itself. But, you know, he was cut from a court that doesn't exist anymore. I will say that. I don't want to take up a lot of time. I do want to say, he is loved worldwide. Wherever I traveled, I've been in places with sunglasses on. I've been in places where, I don't even look at myself as somebody like that. And people have came up to me and told me how much they appreciate what he has done and his love. And just really, just being somebody who was passionate about a culture that really didn't make a lot of money early on. You
Yeah.
know, that wasn't based on clout, was based on like your skills of, you know, kind of, doing great interviews and keeping your finger on the
For
pulse.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that today, you know, we had a list of topics and people that was going to come through, and, shout out to Jameson, who kind of pulled my coat last week and reminded me of Combat Jack's birthday coming up today. And we just felt like today should be a day that we just specifically honor Combat Jack. I know it's a little bit quiet in this room because the internet does love the mess, but talking about the other bullshit that's going on out there to just do a disservice to a man that really changed the landscape of media, podcasting, content creation, all of the above. And just a all around great spiritual person, just an amazing being.
Definitely very spiritual, good energy. You know what I mean? Always made people
Mm.
feel good. You know what I mean? Like good energy, man. He was willing to help people. My biggest thing in life is that everyone needs help. You know what I mean? I'm in prison, and I sit here in prison and see so many people. They all got different characters. They all got different problems. Everybody got problems. What happens is that everybody, it's a common denominator that it breaks down that everybody needs some type of help in some type of way. And then sometimes in life, when everything is going good, when the sun is just shining, you don't need an umbrella, a visor, you good. You know what I mean? You don't even need no shades. Just life is Gucci. You don't be realizing that you might need some fucking help one day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I look at like, even like dudes like Diddy, because I said, look at Diddy. This nigga had a life of just partying, and you know he hardly had the downs like when he got arrested at the club. That he knew he wasn't going to jail for that. You know what I mean? So that wasn't probably a real down in his life. You know what I mean? But now this is probably the worst down ever, right? That he's had to come through in his life. And at this moment, he's sitting there wondering, yo, who could I get some help from? Who fucks with me that I could get some help from? And the thing is that when he was having those highs, a lot of people probably was having lows. And he was just looking above their head past them. So now that he's in this point where he's low and he needs assistance or help and he needs his friends, there's just nothing going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
You
spoke
went out,
on.
Tax.
You hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you now.
All right. Yeah, that's why I was speaking on again when academics caught the sexual charge because I was waiting for him to have a low so he could understand what happens when you have a low. When you have a low, everybody looks down on you and tell you, "Oh, I would have never did that. I would have did this. I would have did that." It's like the girl who talks about her girlfriend who husband cheats all day. Her husband is cheating.
You went out. Can y'all hear me? Is everybody
Yeah, I
out?
can hear you.
Yep.
All right, Tax, you went out. You.
Hey, King. You here, bro?
Yo,
All right. So, Combat Jack passes away. What happens with Loudspeaker?
If you talking, can
Get in the streets. Like the streets is like a headache. You understand?
you
Nah.
went out? You went out
So
Yeah,
completely,
bro. We
Tax.
missed everything, dog. We missed a
You
lot.
went out
what the
completely.
fuck is going on now? This shit ain't gonna be happening, beloved. I think
you
it's these
want
Mexicans is next to me. They doing something funny.
yo Tax,
But
man, you
now I
crazy.
think you're saying, like when you need a lot of people don't understand it. Everybody's gonna need help one day. So if you can help a motherfucker in the slightest way, help him. Because one day you're gonna need that help. You're gonna have your hand out like, yo, somebody help me in this motherfucking situation. Because everybody looks down on people when they go through what they go through. Like, I never forget one night I left the nightclub and we was drinking, partying, and I'm in the back of the car and I'm with 5 girls by myself, only dude. And I rolled the window down to fart. And I ain't fart. I shitted on myself. So you
Yo.
know how it feels to shit on
Oh my
yourself in the
God.
car with 5 bitches, 5 chicks, pretty chicks that you just turned up and you shit on yourself like a straight shot, crazy shot. Yeah, I'm talking about it's over. And I sat there and they said, "Ooh, who farted?" And I said, "Damn, y'all nasty." And they all laughed. And then I said, "Yo, man, I shitted on myself." And they was like, "What?" I said, "Yo, I just shitted on myself." You know what I mean? So,
Oh, what?
Tax, you
Yeah,
are
that's crazy,
nasty.
bro.
You are nasty.
And what?
listen,
'Cause I'm trying to
listen,
figure out. I'm trying to
I
figure
had
out what
to.
the part they helped you. They help you wipe your ass. Like what happened? Like connect this
No,
shit.
no, no, no. No, they actually did help me because what I did was I took my pants and my drawers off in the car. Like, you know what I
Dog.
mean? Like before I even got into the building. Like I felt so nasty. You understand? I was kind of drunk, you know what I mean? But they helped. But the funniest thing about it, right, was that it was 2 weeks later I was in Target and I seen one of the girls and when I seen her, I was like, yo, such and such. And she gave me the death face, like, nigga, not here. And that's when I realized that she was with her man. And as I walked up on her, because I already blew it up that I knew her, and I see she was just looking like what I did. I walked up to her and was like, yo, what's up with Sarah? And I'm like, Sarah's still on. And I switched the conversation around. You understand? And that's like helped her. You know why? Because I seen that girl a year later and she said, yo, I thank you that you switched up that conversation when you seen me in Target. And I said, why? And she said, yo, because I was in the most abusive relationship with this retarded nigga. She said he just beat me up in the parking lot and I was going through so much with this dude. And just you knowing me, acting like we was too friendly, could have had me in a fight. He said, but since you went over there and just homegirled it out and wasn't, you know what I mean, and act like you didn't see him, he was like, help me. And that's like the smallest little help in the world. I'm like, nigga, you gonna need help one day, beloved. So when y'all niggas out there, y'all freak ass niggas just out there, just like I said, just flying chicks to different states to have sex with them, y'all catch y'all sexual charge. I'ma help you. I'ma just give you a positive tweet, you heard?
Yo, that story went so left, bro. I did not think
It
that was
took
Nah,
a
gonna
but
go
few
that
Left,
way.
right?
turns.
it did, but it made a lot of sense because I will say this too. A lot of people, especially if you want to be a creative and whatever that means in your world, you can't grab and go people. A lot of times I see people, they want to just grab them for the moment and then go. I look at it this way, man. I've been friends with people that worked at Adidas for 10 years. When they left, I didn't say fuck you. They moved over to Nike. We were still moving and grooving. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like wherever you go, you working, like, I tell people, you working at, there's certain people I told them over the years, you working at Complex, you leave Complex, I'm still fucking with you. You know what I mean? The point I'm making is you never know who you might need. So I agree with that too, man. There's a lot of people. I get calls all the day from people like, just trying to understand this, how to do this.
Crazy.
You
Can't
can't
find
help
nobody to listen.
everybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you keep
And of
solid,
course.
you're good.
For sure, for sure.
Hey
Once
guys,
again,
can I say
Yeah, the point
something?
wasn't that
We
Reggie
got
was
Miko
helping me.
Grimes in the
Love him for
building,
that.
internet
Hey,
legend. Hello, Miko.
OG
How are
hey
Miko.
you?
y'all. Hey, I wanted to say
Peace.
something. I got to
They
get on.
called you an internet legend. That's crazy.
That's what's up.
You
That's
more
what's
than that.
up. I
What's
appreciate
up?
all love.
What's up, Miko? It's
What
Premium
up?
Pete.
What up, twin?
Hey,
OG
Casey.
Miko.
Hey, I love you guys. Oh
Yeah.
man. I got to get on a
I
Zoom.
got a story about Miko and Tax at Club Lust, but we're gonna
Oh
talk about
man,
that in a
good
little while.
times, good times. Man, I got to get on a
You
Zoom.
know I
No,
don't do strip
I got to
clubs.
get on a Zoom. But I wanted to say something before I had got off. Um,
Yeah.
I probably know combat the least amount of all y'all in here, but we had a really good friendship is what I will call it. And he spoke life into me about being a podcaster, about, my sports podcast. And he was always pushing me and telling me everything to do. The last time I saw him, I was in Detroit with Jaquavis Coleman and his wife. I was
Hmm.
out there with them and
Yep.
we hung out. But the last time I spoke to him was after he was diagnosed. I don't know who it was. It could have been Tax or Charlemagne, and one of y'all had him call me to help him treat his cancer and everything holistically. And so when he called me and he was telling me everything, like I went crazy. I was like running down every single thing he should try. Da, 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 da. And he was he was listening. He was taking the notes and everything I was saying. And then he eventually said to me, like almost like he was like, "I'm not gonna try it. I'm like he almost like conceded that he was gonna die." And it used to bother me. It really used to bother me. But what I realized is there's probably something very peaceful about that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, he didn't try. I don't know if he did or not. I told him all these things to do. He might have tried them. I'm not sure. But when we got off the phone, he just made me feel at ease. I was stressed out on the phone like it was me. you know,
Right, right,
and
right.
and he just had this calm about him, about his situation, about everything. He was just like, "It's gonna be all right, Miko. Like I'm gonna be fine. This is just what's happening, and I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with my life. I've had a great life. So I just want you guys to know. I don't know when y'all last spoke to him, but the last time I talked to him, he was very happy. He was at peace.
Mm,
He was
Yep.
loved by everybody. We
mm.
all got to say kind things to him before he passed. So I always just keep those positive memories and thoughts anytime I think about him, that he was at peace and he was
Amen.
happy.
I agree. I agree.
Amen.
You so
And
right.
Yo,
He
yo,
was
Miko,
so at
you
ease.
don't know what's crazy, Miko, about the holistic thing, right? He wanted to try it,
Uh
right?
huh.
So the idea, I remember he said, yo, he told Mena and I, he's like, y'all want to go upstate somewhere in nature, in the woods, and use holistic, um, medicine, right? And, when they told us the diagnosis, right? So there's a part of it where it's like, you're hopeful, and then there's the other part of it, like we know what this does, like meaning his diagnosis at the time. So it was like we supported, like we looked into possibly doing that, like finding a crib up, upstate somewhere, Bear Mountain, and go through the process. But he was so weak that that never came into fruition, But he definitely talked about it, 100,000%,
That
Nico.
makes me feel good that
That
he did think about it.
Ask Mena. You can ask Mena. Mena know. Like I could show you text messages. He sent me a he showed me a Now I don't know who sent this to him, but he sent me a diagram of somebody who had I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Is it mastitis? When it
Mastitis.
Mastitis.
mastitis, right? And that it was a scan, but that person who he sent, whoever it was, had healed themselves holistically. And that was also one of the encouraging factors where he thought, like, yo, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, that
yeah,
makes me
it's
feel
crazy.
good
That's a
that
beautiful
he did
thing.
listen and he did think about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also just a public service announcement to, I mean, everyone in the room, but particularly black men, take your health seriously. You know, go get your checkups. I know a lot.
He would say, get your
Get your
ass checked.
ass checked. I was just about to say, I know a lot of people are
And
scared to do that,
we
and
have.
there's some homophobia going on with that aspect. But get your ass checked.
Nah, get your ass
Nah,
checked.
listen, I played a pause
Facts.
game.
So listen, man, I stick shit in my ass every day, y'all.
Wait,
Hey,
wait,
Don't
boofing.
worry about it.
What the
If you
hell?
gay,
What
you
the hell are
gay.
you sticking in your ass,
Yeah,
Jack?
If
That
you
exactly.
gay,
cell
you gay,
phone.
bro.
It's called boofing. It's called
yo,
boofing. He boofed the iPhone.
Nobody put no phone in their ass.
I'm
What
joking
are
with
you
you.
talking about? Somebody said that shit to me. They was like, "Oh, you got that iPhone? You threw somebody's ass?" I said, "Nah, you fucking hawk bought this shit in here."
Yeah,
Here's what
I remember when those what's it called turtles when they came in, man. I went running for my life to boof something.
Wait, what's
Oh,
the
the turtles
turtles?
is
Put us
pussy,
on.
man.
I've never done the time. What's
That's
the
when they
turtles?
It's
raid.
not,
That's when they
Yo, it's
raid
all
your
right.
cell. Yo, Rikers.
yeah, it's more like in Rikers, but those guys are like, I mean, pause, but those are the biggest dudes I ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? So, and they
So
just, I
they're
don't know
like
where they
Ninja
get them. They
Turtles.
just, I mean, they just come in, and if you ain't ready, goodbye.
Mm.
But let's keep it positive. And I want to say with Miko, I want to say, Miko, I want to give you your flowers, man, for always showing up, man. You know, like even when we had that mogul, you know, you came all the way in and showed up. You know, even with like
Thank
you
you.
just show up for people that you fuck with,
I
and
always do,
you
and I
know,
always will.
you're just a solid individual. I just want to tell you that.
I appreciate hearing that. Thank you so much. I fuck with all y'all. Like I came in late, but I fuck with all y'all. I fuck with every
Appreciate you.
one of y'all, and I
Appreciate the
appreciate y'all
energy.
fucking with me too.
Yeah. We
Miko the
were
legend.
adamant.
OG Miko's the loyalist. Miko know what she be talking about. Miko aggressive. So Miko getting the beef with all the men, you
I
heard?
love it.
And she sometimes more aggressive than the
I
men.
love it.
So
Cut from my type of cloth.
she's hard to deal with
She's hard to deal
because
with.
she ruffles the men's feathers everywhere she go, and I see it
On
because she
purpose,
be moving, doing her thing,
With
and the
purpose.
men be like,
with purpose. Yeah, they
For
they
sure.
try to act like I don't belong in those spaces, and I eat their asses up.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, we
We
were
talking a
adamant
lot
about
about
this
ass.
space. We were adamant about this space being 100% positive, 100% honoring Combat Jack. Again, just trying to just change the frequency once in a while. I know spaces and just podcasts is real messy a lot of the times, but I think in honoring Combat Jack, I think we should all share the same sentiment about, reach one, teach one help the other. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we all fighting the algorithm out here. And if we all support one another, like we all get to it. I know a lot of people talk, I need to get to the bag, but we all need support. We all need help. All that gatekeeping shit. Combat Jack wasn't about that. Like you didn't have to pay a fee. You didn't, that man was selfless when it came to helping people, whether he knew you in real life, whether he knew you intimately. So I really feel like, especially on today, we should just, if we could just honor that type of love and just push
Amen.
each other for real.
You know, also too is when you say it like that, he has such a great tactic about him, the way he moved where like, you know, you go ready to like go tell him something. He like, oh, dope hoodie. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I got this the other day. Like he always had like a way to start a conversation, ignite something,
For sure.
bring up something, I think, and even like I said, since his passing, which is crazy to me, this December is going to be 7 years. I still have and see so many people that I have to say this, but that he touched, you know?
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that we have to
I
pause
mean, he would
everything
like that I
nowadays.
say that. He would like that I
A
say that.
strong pause.
I mean, and honestly, we were running with that at a time that, I think was even tough. And that was one thing he would not let go, King, you know? Even when things started to get a little bit more professional, he was like, yo, we staying with the pause game.
I think another attribute
"Fan
is it's
pause."
just he was just so Combat Jack was like, you got people that just have that type of energy where they're just positive and they're not, they're almost unrelatable because they're so positive and you feel like they didn't walk the same walk as you. but he was a man of the people. He touched the earth, and he was just such a strong man. Like, when he came to you with all of these, soft affirmations, you just knew that it was coming from a place of like strength, and he's just
Yeah,
such a miss energy that he can't be duplicated. He just can't be
absolutely
duplicated.
not. And that's why we keep his
Great.
legacy alive. I think his energy, just his smile. You look at it, I put a picture up today that, the legend Mello, Dwayne Mello, he's, many things, but, Mello is, definitely a dude. He took that picture, and that picture of Combat smiling with the mic in front of him, I mean, just goes to show who he was.
Yeah,
It's important when you see that, to be remembered as that too.
for sure, for sure. I mean, obviously there was a bunch of topics that we have a list of topics that we could have went through today. We got Ryan Garcia and Young Little
All
Dirk son,
bullshit.
all
Let's
All
bullshit.
bullshit.
It's nothing.
get to it though. We could do some little what do you
Who
call that? A round table real
a little
quick.
roundy poo.
Hey,
So
listen,
you
the only thing I
yeah.
think that could be done, you can move around, but, I think, and ending with, the way Combat end, that'd be a special night, man.
Shit. I actually wanted if any of you would know a record that would be best suited for him. We could drop something.
Anything Fela
Yep.
Kuti.
Damn, Fela,
Mm-hmm.
super dope. I went to go see a play with Fela Kuti. There we go.
Last Poets. Any of that.
Combat
I
Jack
remember,
forever. We love you, my
yeah,
Jesus. Peace.
I remember I showed King a picture of Combat. I brought him out to Jersey. This is like maybe like what, 12 years ago, King? And, we were at my parents' house, and this is the first time ever that like they had a pool and shit like that, cause we grew up in Brooklyn. And I'll never forget, man. But we had a birthday party for him. Dallas Penn was the only one in the pool. Only person in the pool diving off the diving board, man. I will say this. I want to say one more thing about Combat as we move along. His energy was important. I don't think people look at energy until someone passes away. But his energy to grow in a space while also helping others was honestly to me,
That showed that
One
remarkable.
of
showed his
one.
character because most people will not help you if they on the way up. They'll wait till they get all the way up and then might look for you if they do. But for somebody to bring you along while they carving the path, that tells you a lot about their character. That means that he wasn't afraid of somebody to get better, somebody to get stronger. But that
Yep.
life, you know what I mean? It's like always trying to make sure that the ones who on top, you know what I mean? So
Word.
that just shows a lot about his character. He had a good character, man. Good
Word up.
character, helpful, you know what I mean? Turn up, fun, and always gave good advice. Sometimes good advice is better than anything.
For sure. So okay, we're gonna wrap this up. It's been a beautiful space, different from the
You don't want
norm.
any
And
topics?
Okay,
we
that's what's
can,
up.
or we can
When we
sign
when we get
out
when we
on a high note.
when we get back to the malarkey tomorrow.
Yeah, what's going? What malarkey you want to get
He
to?
said the
The
What
Malarkey.
malarkey.
malarkey
So
you
as
want to get
of
to?
now,
I need I need
we're set up to go up Mondays at 8 p.m. and Thursday at 8 p.m. But also the people have been asking us for a Saturday
oh yeah.
pod early afternoon. We could
Y'all
turn
should
this
do it,
shit up
man. Y'all got a good space here,
for
man.
sure, for sure.
Y'all should do it. Yo, shouts to Just Dave, man.
Appreciate all the love and support.
Great people.
Cax, you got any last words before I drop this, fella Kuti?
Nah, we did it. We did it for combat. We
For sure,
appreciate combat, loudspeaker networks, Chris Morrow, you know, all the people over there that did good work to help push the podcast game forward.
And the IPO. Don't
And
forget the
the
IPO.
And I be
so
IPOers,
we gonna wrap this
IPOers.
up with "Teach It, Don't Teach Me No Nonsense" by fella Kuti.
Hey,
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for all the support, love,
Salute
definitely
Rocky.
Long
support.
salute.
live
If I
Combat
never
Hold
heard.
Jack.
down, bro.
Love you, combat forever, beloved. Safe though.
niggas can make bread on that.
Let that shit fly, fella.
gotta run that shit. Are we still live?
We still live.
We still live. Yeah, nah, that was a good night. Shout out to Combat Jack. Shout out to Raqi, Jameson, Premium P, A King.
Thanks to everybody who's been supporting us. Thanks to everybody who's been DMing me, DMing Tax, and all the support that we're getting from the executives from coast to coast. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes, y'all. We're just trying to structure something super dope. You know, it's a different type of situation we're playing with here, but I think we got this shit on smash. We got some really dope content coming your way. So shout out to everybody who's just been supporting us and showing love. Again, this wasn't a typical space, but we had to do it for Combat Jack. You know, I know y'all like the shit talk, the messy shit, and y'all know I love getting right straight to it. But tonight is about positivity. And if you learn anything from this space, you know, reach one, teach one.
Hey Pete, you remember Combat's his outro?
Dream those dreams. Man up. No, it's man up. Wait, hey, yo, internet, dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams. Because a life without dreams hold on. A life without a dream is black and white, and life moves in technicolor and surround sound. Blah.
Blah. Alright, y'all, I'm about to tune out. Shout out to everybody who came through. Rest in peace, Combat Jack. You're a force to be reckoned with. You loved and you missed. Peace.
Now, as you can see, everybody, we're going to keep doing some of these long form content videos and posting them for you so you can see what's going on in the spaces. And like I said, if you want to chime in and let us hear your voice and get your audio on some of these or promote yourself, please follow me on Twitter at The Files with Dub. And that's at The Files with Dub. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we will be back with The Files.
My guy Dub too. That's my man though.
Gang gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.